Welcome to the Everything Podcast. This episode, I'm just recapping episode 3 of Rutons vs. Sontarans, titled Grave Moon. Because this is a Big Finish episode, we'll follow the usual format of talk about what we know, the trailer, and my thoughts. But before I get into any of that, I'm recording this episode on Thursday, the 25th of June 2026. We're going to start off with the stuff I know, then I'll show you the trailer, as I just said, and then my thoughts. Rutons vs. Sontarans Grave Moon was released on the 23rd of June 2026, so only a couple of days ago, and I think I watched it that day. I was going to record it that day, but I was, as I mentioned in the previous episode, I was too busy with other things, and it was a bit too warm. Even though it's warmer today, the day I'm recording this episode. Rutons vs. Sontarans Grave Moon was written by Lizzie Hopley. Here is the synopsis. The Doctor and Perry track a criminal imposter to a moon sanctuary of healing ponds, only to discover the lone Router the Doctor has previously met trapped in a self-made web of lies. Experiments to rejoin the host have forged a bond with grieving pond farmer Uland. As their mutual obsession tightens, so Uland's ponds grow more polluted and their farm cut off for what is really happening on the moon, a full-on rooted invasion. As the Doctor and Perry strive to free Melmoth and Uland from each other, and another Doctor is at work close by with far-reaching plans of his own for the lone Router. Rutons vs. Sontarans Grave Moon was recorded on the 30th of October 2025, and I think Rutons vs. Sontarans wasn't recorded in episode 1 wasn't recorded first. I think they were recorded in a different order depending upon cast availability, but we do have a few quotes. So writer Lizzie Hopley said, "I chose to use the Sixth Doctor and Perry in this story because I've always adored the energy of those two. Nicola and Colin have always had such an amazing humour and a unique ability to slide from this humour into serious change. I thought it would be great to pitch that energy against a messed up love story. It's basically impossible for a Router to fall in love, so I thought, well, let's do that then. I wanted us to care about this lone Router, and I wanted to create a tragedy, because if you invest in characters and you believe that they care for one another, even for selfish reasons, then you can create terrible tragedy, and I wanted to have our 8th and 6th Doctors and Perry really experience that." Lead actor Colin Baker added, "I was rather captivated by the Romeo and Juliet story, the two warring factories who have not exactly a romantic relationship, but a relationship of affection, love, understanding, and that's rather sweet and rather tragic, and it's really appealed to me." Rutons vs. Sontarans Rutons vs. Sontarans Grave Moon stars Colin Baker as the 6th Doctor, Nicola Bryant as Perry, and Paul McGann as the 8th Doctor. The cover art was done by Sean Lawmore. The director was Ken Bentley. The executive producers were Jason Haigh-Ellery and Nicholas Briggs. The music and sound design was done by Howard Carter. The producer was David Richardson. The script editor was John Dorney. The writer was Lizzie Hopley, as previously mentioned. The senior producer was John Ainsworth, and the total runtime for this episode was 73 minutes. So before I spoil the events of Rutons vs. Sontarans Grave Moon, here's the trailer.
Sorry, I was somewhere else entirely. Another place, another time.
From Big Finish Productions, The Worlds of Doctor Who, Rutons vs. Sontarans, Grave Moon.
Here we are. Amlis Pack's moon.
One step ahead. Where have you gone?
Beyond these bushes is a sanctuary of restorative ponds, run by peaceful farmers for interspecies healing and medicinal... Oh, dear.
A grave. All by itself. And a name. Y. A. R.
It can't be. Yarian?
You are holding a piece of Rutan technology.
Rutan. As in Sontaran Rutan War Rutans?
The very same.
Get away from it, or I'll fire.
Oh, my word. This is a little shop of horrors.
Didn't take you long, did it?
It isn't safe for you to be in here.
Your form is unstable.
Please.
Let me see you, Melmoth.
You are a new kind of Rutan.
Someone is bringing the Sontaran Rutan War to Amlis Pax.
Rutan base located, Commander.
We can't leave. The Sontarans are landing.
Readying battle spheres.
I'll kill you.
No! What have you done? What have you done?
Hail Santa! Hail Santa! Hail Santa!
finish for the love of stories.
That was the trailer for Rutons vs. Sontarans Gravy, which I will enter spoiler territory immediately, really. I'm going to focus on the multi-doctor aspect of this episode, with the 6th Doctor and the 8th Doctors both appearing. But they don't meet, they just appear. And obviously the 8th Doctor remembers what should have happened as the 6th Doctor, so it kind of is one of those kind of trying to keep history on track, doing things separate. Paul McGann's 8th Doctor did appear in the previous episode of Returns of the Sontarans rendition, kind of with Zoe in that one, so we don't know what's going on, and Perry meeting the 8th Doctor at the end of this episode. So it is, and the 6th Doctor actually annoyed that he doesn't know it's the 8th Doctor. Perry doesn't mention who it was, and kind of pretending, so he uses Farmer Smith, John Smith being a name that the Doctor uses as a what am I looking for? What's the word? An alter ego. Whatever that word is, but we'll go with alter ego. This is kind of the most that the 8th Doctor has appeared in Reuters vs. Sontarans, kind of as a secondary character for the last time, and I'll talk about why towards the end of the episode. But yeah, kind of, this is kind of the first time where the Doctor knows the Reuters vs. Sontaran war, kind of because the Fugitive Doctor had no idea what on earth was going on in the betrayal at the House of Sontar, the first episode, and the second Doctor kind of being very early on kind of aware of them both, but not of the war, and kind of, and Perry actually knowing about it. You heard it in the trailer there, and on the episode itself, that's mentioned a lot, so kind of is an interesting. And the Sontarans actually being on the cover, they don't appear in towards quite close to the end. It's kind of mainly just the 6th and 8th Doctors, Perry, the lone Rutan that kind of is connected. What's the word I'm looking for? Side, that one, through the mind. I've forgotten the word. I will remember the word. Psychically, there we go. Rather than having to take on, because they're basically shapeshifters, really. Yeah, kind of. So there isn't. That's kind of, and then it expands, and we see what has been happening during the events of Grave Moon. And yeah, kind of sets us up quite well for the finale of Reuters vs. Sontarans, titled Peace at Last, which will be released at some point in July 2026, written by Tim Foley, who will remember wrote Rendition. Here's a synopsis. On the precipice of peace it stands after the destruction of a major stronghold. The Sontarans propose something extraordinary. More extraordinary still, the Rutan says yes. The Doctor, Charlie and Cariz are on hand to watch history being made. Yet history has other ideas. A plan that has taken centuries is about to come to fruition. The Malmoth is returning. This episode was recorded on the 19th of January 2026 and stars Paul McGann as the 8th Doctor, India Fisher as Charlie, and Conrad Westmus as Chris, I think returning for the first time in that role since the Battle of Giants Causeway, all the way back in January 2024, so it's been a while since we've had Chris, and the cover art was done by Sean Longmore. The director was Ken Bentley. The executive producers were Jason Tagola and Nicholas Briggs. The music and sound design was done by Howard Carter. The producer was David Richardson. The script editor was John Dornier. The writer was Tim Foley, as previously mentioned. The senior producer was John Ainsworth, and the total runtime is 74 minutes. As of time of recording, we have no trailer for Reuters vs. Sontarans Peace at Last, but we do have a trailer for the next 8th Doctor Adventures box set, titled New Pathways, which is a little while off now at the moment, because it isn't released until November 2026. As I've mentioned in previous episodes, I've given up trying to predict when Big Finish announce stuff, because they don't do it in any chronological order. You think they do, and then they drop things for, like, we already know the fifth, I was about to say the next, but it's not, the 5th volume of The Death and Life River Song, featuring Alex Kingston as River and Arthur Darvill as Rory, that's releasing January next year, and yeah, all of that stuff. So here are the synopsis. Soon after regeneration, for the 8th Doctor Adventures New Pathways, after I went on that little tangent. Soon after regeneration, as the Doctor's 8th life begins, the TARDIS receives an unusual call. Many years later, travelling with faithful friend Elphick, and the Doctor finally solve a mystery that has dogged him since his earliest days. Who is Chase Moyo, and what new pathways will she lead the Doctor along? We start off with Chase, written by Alan Ronald. Chase has hoped for a different life. She sees no escape from her soul-sucking call centre job, but when she's accidentally connected to a mysterious police box and the extraordinary Dr. Smith, who's just beginning one of his many long lives, her entire world will change forever. We then have Magic of the Sycorax, written by Catherine Armitage. It's time to put Chase through her paces, and so the TARDIS follows a distress signal to a remote mining base beset by powerful forces. The Doctors defeated the Sycorax before, but this time they seem to have more magic, more darkness, and everyone has much more to lose. We then finish off the set with Blast from the Past, written by Robert Valentine. When the TARDIS starts playing up, the Doctor accidentally brings Chase and Alfie to Burnley in 2096, only to discover that the UK has become an authoritarian dictatorship under fascist leader Bastian Claw. Chase in turn discovers that her descendants, the Moyle family of number 19 McKellen Drive, are major players in the underground resistance movement. Beyond the obvious, something is seriously wrong with history. Has the past been written by more than just the propaganda of Claw's jingoistic regime, and can Chase live up to the idealist memory her great-great-grandchildren hold of her? The Eighth Doctor Adventures New Pathways was recorded between the 26th and the 28th of January 2026, and we've got a few, more than a few quotes. So Sam Stafford said, "It's a real pinch me moment when you get to go, I'm the companion of the Doctor. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, and it brings a different dynamic to be one of the few male companions. It's described in the script as a Laurel and Hardy sort of situation." Alfie is a happy-go-lucky chap. He's been travelling with the Doctor for a while and is very much enjoying his time. What I love about Alfie is that he's a really kind guy. He deeply cares about everyone that he meets and wants the best for them, but he also loves to fight. He's quite a muscular man, so he brings an air of physicality that I'm not necessarily used to. Fire School Audio is quite physical despite it just being voice. We fight alien armies, but it does all boil down to that element of family, and the Doctor and Alfie and Chase build their own little family as well. It's really lovely. That dynamic works really well. And Natalie Gumede adds, when we first meet Chase, she's very dissatisfied with her life. She's a gaffer, a crew member in movies and TV, and she's been unemployed for some time, so she now works in a call centre and really is frustrated with going in and out and wondering when her adventures are going to start again. What I love about Chase is that she's smart, quick-witted and funny, and everybody around her enjoys that and plays off that. We also start to learn about her moral compass and how strong that is, especially against the majority. When the majority choose one direction, Chase listens to her heart and is willing to speak up. And producer David Richardson said, Natalie and Sam have been on my radar to play companions for quite some time. They're both very experienced in audio, bring bookloads of enthusiasm to the recording, and throw so much energy and vitality into their performances. So here they are, Chase and Alfie, the Doctor's new best friends, and soon to be ours too. Script editor Matt Fitton said, the Eighth Doctor's had such a rich and varied life, it felt fitting that we would do to celebrate it was invent a whole new era and bring in Chase and Alfie as new companions. We threw Natalie and Sam's names in the mix quite early on in the process, and we were able to build those characters around them. This new team has a different energy and a different way of looking at the Doctor, and that brings out new things for Paul to do as well. On kicking this new era, the first episode's writer, Alan Reynolds, said, I was given a bit of a blank slate to introduce two companions with Alfie. We hit the ground running, and he's already gading around with the Doctor, and then we meet Chase and see how the Doctor crashes into her humdrum daily life. Given that it arrives on the 30th anniversary of the Eighth Doctor first appearing, we had to find a way to touch on that, but not to have it all about it. I didn't want it to be a look backwards, it had to be a look forwards. So we approach to that was through Chase in the call centre. With her connecting with the Doctor across that entire period, we have a 30-year period of storytelling condensed into her week. The cast is Paul McGann as the Eighth Doctor, as well as Natalie Gumede as Chase and Sam Stafford as Alfie. The cover art was done by Sean Norman. The director was Ken Bentley. The executive producers were Jason Taylor and Nicholas Briggs. The music was done by Howard Carter. The producer was David Richardson. The script editor was Matt Fitton. The sound designer was Benji Clifford. The writers, as previously mentioned, were Alan Ronald, Catherine Armitage and Robert Valentine. The senior producer was John Ainsworth, and the total runtime for the set is bang on 3 hours 180 minutes. So without further ado, the reason why I wanted to talk about this release in the first place is the trailer for the Eighth Doctor Adventures of New Pathways. Here it is.
Good afternoon. Am I speaking to Mr. Smith?
Hold on, this is a sales call. What planet are you on?
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, the Eighth Doctor Adventures, New Pathways.
I told you I'm the Doctor. You must be from Earth, planet of cold calls.
This guy's a card.
Chase, I know you're scared.
What are you doing to my door?
You've only known me, what, a week? But from my perspective, I have known you this whole life.
You're so... strange.
A confidant through it all. A lighthouse shining over a sea of chaos.
This is Alfie.
Let me give you a hand.
Like the laurel to my Harley.
Cheers.
Please, trust me, I am the Doctor.
If all you have is a hammer, then every problem is a nail.
Forget sonic screwdrivers. Gaffer tape solves everything.
Welcome aboard.
Big Finish. For the love of stories.
That was the trailer for the 8th Doctor Adventures New Pathways. And let me know in the comments below what you thought of that trailer, as well as what you thought of Return von Sontaran's Grave Moon, as well if you're looking forward to Return vs. Sontaran's Peace at Last, releasing in July, and the 8th Doctor Adventures New Pathways, releasing in November. And without further ado, I will see you in a future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.